So when we're caught in the daily drudge of things with all the to-dos and shoulds and have-tos and all the sort of social habits we have, we can really lose spontaneity. And I'm making this post because I realized something profound today. Like I woke up with this sense of frustration, just a sense of irritation, frustration, and it's very visceral, very felt, even in my hip, and just impatient and wanting something. But sometimes it's really hard to understand and know what we are wanting. And I'm not talking about the mental level, the level where we always think we know what we want and we need and blah, 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 but on a visceral, embodied sense of self, on the physical level. So I realized that this frustration was a wanting of some kind, and it's a desire for connection, but it's a desire for spontaneity, playfulness, a sort of rough and tumble, and getting my teeth stuck into something juicy, like when you bite into a peach and there's that furry skin that you sort of get your teeth into. There's this desire to get my teeth into something that nourishes me. And I realized that that is a sense of spontaneity and playfulness also in relationship, and to do things that are different, like go and swim in cold water in the sea, just that space for unpredictability, that space for the things that our physiology just might want to do that are not planned, that are not part of the daily routine, that are not sensible. Yeah. And the interesting thing about this, so for a self-development perspective, is that we can get so into like managing, controlling, manipulating ourselves into something, right? And or we can override how we feel, or we can just be with how we feel, but that's also a kind of manipulation. Or we can channel how we feel into doing something, which is also a kind of manipulation, instead of actually just matching what is. So this is not about acting out some some inner felt sense or internal feeling. It's not about acting out, because that won't satisfy this deeper urge or this deep desire and wanting for something. And just being with it in a sort of spiritual manner is also not going to satisfy the urge. In one way, it's a kind of it's manipulating it to change, just to be with it so it changes or shifts or alters. No, we've got to, whatever the energy is that we're experiencing internally, we've got to be aware of it, and then we've got to be able to be with it enough that we can allow ourselves to experience it. But then we also need to understand, what is the match? What is the thing that links into it, that allows for some creative expression, or living it, or acting on it and following that impulse? And sometimes it's difficult. I mean, children are much more connected to this playfulness, so are animals. But when we are grown up, we lose this spontaneity, this playfulness, this slightly messy way of being that is nourishing, this just acting on an impulse, being slightly reckless, doing what that urge is desiring, Okay, so this is very much about, we listen to our biology, we understand it, we're tuning into it and making space for it. And somebody once said to me, it's so hard to make space for the what I want, for what I want. So this is like, okay, and we're not talking about as I previously said, we're not talking about the intellectual, I want this and I want that, the sort of superficial layer of things. We're talking about the deep, felt sense, physical, emotional, juicy, all of it together, that alignment of the whole soul, your being, and making space for the I want, or just giving the I want permission and being with it. What is it that I want? And for me, you can see it's like, I want to get, there's something I want to get my teeth stuck into that is going to nourish me, that feels good. So, invitation to you. What is it that you want? And if this speaks to you, you're welcome to come join us this summer in London at the Minster Centre. We're going to be working with voice and expression, and there's playfulness in it. There's a kind of slightly, how should I say, daring playfulness that actually encourages these parts of you to come up in a good, wholesome way, in a way that you find you have agency and can work with. Because especially, we lose this. We lose this when we get older and life becomes too predictable. Your friendships become too predictable. You're always doing the same things with the same people in the same environments. And life loses its luster, its sparkle. It loses its essence when we do that, because we're only just going and repeating and doing on repeat what we've done before, hoping for perhaps some pleasure that we used to feel in those things. So this is an invitation to shake it up, feel what's there, whether it's making a complete mess in your kitchen and baking a cake, whether it's going for a swim in icy cold water, whether it's to have some rough and tumble with your partner or with a friend. Let's just shake it up. So if you're interested, either come to one of my free taster sessions online. I put them up regularly, so if you follow me, you'll get those. But if you're interested to come to and work in person, there's a great opportunity in London this summer for either individual workshops or the whole series of the 6 consecutive Saturdays that I'm going to be doing starting on the 5th of July. So come and join me there. Bye for now.